Do you find yourself lost in the day, letting it literally slip away? And before you know it, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the kids are dropping off their backpacks by the door as they come in from school, and you're still sporting your PJs and your slippers. Well, most people find working from home to be challenging, especially at first. There are so many distractions, laundry timers going off, kids are fighting, your phone's buzzing with notifications, and to top it all off, the kitchen dishes are still soaking from last night's dinner. Sometimes a comfortable seat on the sofa just don't provide the same type of motivation you get from a suit and an office chair. If we've never met before, my name is Brooke Amber and I teach burnout healthcare professionals how to launch, grow, and automate a business online so you can ditch the stress and create a life of freedom doing what you love. Whether you're home alone and the house is too quiet or you're home with the family and the kids are out of control, you may find that it's tough to stay on task, be focused, and get your work done and feel productive. So in today's episode, I'm going to share with you 5 strategies I use to stay motivated and on task in my business. Motivation tip number 1 is to find a dedicated workspace. I know it's easy to work from your comfy bed or sofa in your PJs. I mean, who wouldn't love staying in their PJs or in their bed? But when you associate your bed with work, it can actually start to interfere with your sleep, and trouble sleeping will affect your performance the following day. What can happen is that when you're trying to wind down and go to sleep, your brain is like, wait a minute, what's going on? This is work time. Statistics show that doing this for even up to a year or any extended period of time could actually lead to insomnia or something called circadian rhythm disorder. That's when our body's natural clocks that tell us when it's time to sleep get thrown out of whack in the long term. And most sleep experts recommend reserving your bed for sleep and other married adult activities. So even if your bed might feel like a comfortable spot, create a workspace somewhere else. Having a specific office is ideal, one where you can shut the door and keep the noise and distractions out. But if your home does not have that, the kitchen table or a desk in the corner of the living room will suffice. Don't forget, having a dedicated office space is also a tax write-off. You also want to have a clean workspace, putting away the receipts, the piles of mail, anything that makes you anxious. Give yourself the gift of a clean desk. I know I always work better in a clean atmosphere, and when I get lazy in that area and let it get messy, I just don't work as well. Motivation tip number 2 is to create a schedule for yourself. This is crucial regardless of whether you have a 9-to-5 type of job, a clock in and out, or if you're a stay-at-home mom. Without a structured workday, time is just going to slip away. You might find that you start shifting your work days later and later as you sip an extra cup of coffee, and then your work hours extend late into the evening, which causes you to stay up later at night as well. Or you might find that you easily get off track or distracted while you're working. Projects that used to take you 20 to 30 minutes are suddenly taking you like 2 hours to complete. So it's also important that your family sees that you have set hours. This way they know that they are taken care of as well and the house doesn't get neglected. This isn't always easy, but you might find that it helps you get more done than you actually realize. And that's why it's important to have a clear schedule. Establish a time to begin and end your work. Try to stick to it as much as possible when you can. Motivation tip number 3 is to work in time blocks. Working in time blocks helps tasks feel more manageable, plus it holds you more accountable. And once you create your schedule for the day, set a timer and complete the task at hand. Don't let anything interrupt you and focus only on that task. When the timer goes off, even if you aren't done with that task, I want you to move on to the next task. I promise you'll feel so much more accomplished. Scheduling your time will also hold you more accountable. You'll be less likely to get lost on social media when you know that you only have 15 minutes to complete this task. And you'll be less likely to procrastinate when you've given yourself a tight deadline. How to get started with time blocking. Okay, you're sold on the idea of time blocking and you're ready to jump in, but where do you start? Time blocking is a productivity powerhouse, a secret sauce that can take your efficiency to the next level. So time blocking helps with focus, achieve bigger goals, reduce stress, which reduces cortisol levels, and it certainly can help bring out work-life harmony. Ultimately, when you master the skill, it can really bring about the same massive automation for your business that you're looking for. Now, if you want to be well on your way to becoming a time blocking pro, here are some simple steps to follow. Number 1, identify your tasks. First, you need to know what you're working with. Write down all the tasks that you want to accomplish, big or small, and this could include work tasks, personal tasks, hobbies, and even relaxation. Then number 2, estimate your task duration. Estimate how long each task will take. This might seem tricky initially, but don't worry, you'll get better with practice. And remember, it's always better to overestimate than underestimate. Number 3, prioritize your tasks. Not all of them are created equal, so base them on the importance and urgency. Highlight your most important tasks and ensure that these get prime spots in your day when you're focused. Start blocking out your time in your schedule for these tasks. You might want to group smaller tasks together, a concept called batch processing, to maximize your efficiency. Remember to account for breaks, lunch, bathroom, things like that. Stick to your schedule. Number 5. Once your time blocks are set, stick to them. Treat them as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. And number 6, review and refine. Review your schedule at the end of the day or the week. Did you underestimate the time for some of those tasks? Were there interruptions that you didn't account for? Use this type of information to refine your time blocks for the following week. That's it. 6 simple steps to kickstart your time blocking journey. Remember, the goal isn't to create a perfect schedule, which, spoiler alert, doesn't even exist. The goal is to use your time better and ensure your most important tasks get done. My next tip for you is to limit your distractions and interruptions. Either turn your phone off or at least turn off your notifications. You might find that you struggle to get back on task each time you're interrupted. So things like stop checking your email every hour, check it like once a day or even once a week if you find yourself super distracted by it. Tell your family that you're not to be disrupted during the quote XYZ time frame. Put a do not disturb sign on your door. Give your kids tasks to do while you're occupied. Tell them exactly when you will be done and when they may come talk to you again. Of course, you're going to want to establish some ground rules as a legitimate reason for them to interrupt you while you're working, like things like blood or near-death experiences. Those are all legitimate reasons to bother you. Otherwise, they need to know that you mean it when you say, do not bother mom. Now, tip number 5 is to challenge yourself sometimes. A little challenge can help you get moving too. For example, you may try to beat your own record by saying that you're going to reach out to, let's say, 10 people about your product, service, or opportunity in the next 15 minutes or during the next 30-minute time slot. Or maybe you can commit to typing X number of words on your blog post in 30 minutes or less. Things like that. Learning these things about yourself might help you set up your day for success. And being aware of your time helps you use it wisely. And challenging yourself in some way, even if you're challenging yourself against yourself, might provide that extra incentive that you need. And at the end of the day, it's important that you can list all the things that you accomplished and how they got you closer to your big goals. Ask yourself these 3 questions. What worked today? What did not work today? And how can I improve? Make new goals for yourself of how good you feel when you get a project done, as opposed to how bad you feel when you don't get the work done. This might remind you to take action regardless of whether or not you feel like it. If you found value in these tips to help you keep motivated when you lack the drive, please share with a friend. I'm so grateful for you. Be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to join me inside my free community, the Work From Home Entrepreneur Community. Just click the yellow button below if you're on my blog, or if you're on YouTube, you can click the link in the description. See you next time.